7 in the morning. 7 in the morning.
Good morning, students. Today is a good day as I'd like to introduce you all to the Rick and Dick podcast, a morning announcement show created by me and Mr. Manning where we talk about random subjects and give random advice and tips. Even though I believe this podcast should have been called the Rick times 2 podcast, but Mr. Manning chose the Rick and Dick podcast for some reason, but it's whatever. Well, Mr. Hopkins, I chose the name the Rick and Dick podcast because Rick is short for either Patrick or Richard. Your name is Richard and my name is Patrick. However, if we did the Rick and Dick podcast, Rick could be short for Patrick and Dick is specifically short for Richard. So we both have unique names in this podcast. Yeah, whatever, it's not that serious, even though I'm pretty sure Rick is mostly short for Richard, but whatever, it's not that serious. Mr. Manning, could you tell me more about that griffin animal or whatever that thing you're always going crazy about saving the children or whatever? Well, Mr. Hopkins, that's actually a really good question. A lot of people don't understand me well when I talk about saving them from the griffin. So I'm a firm believer in mythical creatures, and griffins, I don't trust them because I feel like they'll kidnap kids and just fly away with them, and they're mythical creatures like other mythical creatures. So I just want to protect kids from mythical creatures because we can't trust mythical creatures, and that's why I always say stay away from the griffin because it's real and it'll summon other mythical creatures, and I don't want the kids to be taken away by the griffin and eaten by them or whatever griffins do. Wow, that was the most vague, rambled response I've ever heard, but whatever. I mean, in mythology, don't griffins protect people from harm? It sounds like you want to be the one protecting people from harm. Yes, I do. Either way, I think this is a great way to start off our podcast, Mr. Hopkins. If we work really hard, we can make our podcast into an animated TV show. Welcome back to the Rick and Dick podcast. You all loved our podcast so much that we actually decided to turn it into an animated TV series. I hope you all enjoy. No, Mr. Manning, that's doing a bit too much. Let's just keep it a Friday morning announcement show thing.